I don't think that we should always confine ourselves to like just what we study. I mean, I do get comments like, oh, you know, you study so many years for architecture, such a waste. At times it feels like your mind is like constantly working 24 hours. It came to a point where I told myself like, yeah, I need to take a break so that I can go further, continue this journey, because you know, if not, you'll burn out.
Welcome to Talk Some More, the video podcast dedicated to featuring young creators, entrepreneurs, and ordinary people with extraordinary stories. This show is distributed on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes, so feel free to follow us for the latest episodes. My guest today is Chloe Chew, founder and solo entrepreneur of a handmade earring brand called Lovelystrokes. I've known Chloe for almost 9 years, going back to our Polytechnic days in Singapore, and also throughout our time at the University of Melbourne pursuing our degree in architecture. In this episode, we talk about how Chloe developed her own business from the ground up, some personal struggles she faced along the way, and how a solo entrepreneur avoids the burnout to keep the business consistent and growing. You can find Lovelystrokes on Instagram at Lovelystrokes or visit their online store at lovelystrokes.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the creator of Lovelystrokes, Chloe Chew. Let's talk some more.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Talk Some More. Talk Some More. Today we have with us Chloe, owner and designer and business entrepreneur of Lovelystrokes, a jewellery brand that's becoming quite popular these days, I must say.
Yeah.
Because almost everyone I talk to, they kind of know, they know your brand.
Oh.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do. So yeah, hi Chloe.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Chloe and I go way back to when we were in poly together. We were studying architecture, and then after that we also went on to university in Melbourne, Australia, also doing architecture. But from there you came back to Singapore, and then you worked for about 2 years before transiting and making your own business, right?
Yeah.
So maybe let's just start off with like, firstly, what is Lovelystrokes? I like you to explain it better than I would.
Okay, so Lovelystrokes is a brand. It's an e-commerce brand that sells handmade earrings. So it started off as a hobby. So what happens is I use polymer clay to make designs with... No, wait. I make earrings. Oh shit. I make earrings with polymer clay.
Okay.
So I design them, I bake them, assemble them, post-production, mail it out and everything. Yeah, so essentially Lovelystrokes is a unique handcrafted jewellery brand.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, then that comes to the question, because this is very different from architecture. I mean, other than the design, where probably that's where you got your inspiration from, and other things like that. But how did you how did you make that transition? From a 9 to architecture is not 9 to 5, but from
definitely.
Architecture to your own business, making jewellery online.
I think after graduating, I worked in architecture firm for 2 years. And then before transiting into this like entrepreneurship, so in between I actually worked in a startup firm.
Okay.
It's a finance startup firm. And although I went in as a user experience designer.
Okay.
So user experience designer was somewhat related to architecture in a way, in terms of like your thought process and things like that.
Was this for like general products or?
No, it was for like an app.
Okay.
So without any background, I managed to convince. I feel like I was scared, but no, I did contribute.
Okay.
So I managed to get into the company as a full-time job, like as a full-timer lah, basically. And then I worked there for like a short period of time. Although, I mean, this startup was relatively old in a sense, so there weren't really much to do most of the day. So unlike architecture firm, right, where we do OT until like 5 a.m, I could actually go home at 6 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah. Be jealous. So it was quite a different experience. And then I was bored at work some days. So and then after work, because I came home at 6 p.m. So I mean I went home at 6 p.m. So there were like period of time where like I had nothing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to find something interesting to do. And
Okay.
that's when I found polymer clay.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's when I started doing more research. So learn more online,
Yep.
basically like YouTube, just
Okay, okay.
Google, yeah. And then I started making my own, posted on my own personal Instagram. And sorry, there were friends that were quite interested in it, in buying. So I made 5. I sold like 4 of them. Yeah, which I thought was like, oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. And at that point of time, when I started making, there really weren't anyone doing-
Else
yeah.
to compete with?
anyone else. Actually, I think there was one, but she was around for a very long time.
Okay.
Yeah, but she was of a different style,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so I started making more, and at that point of time, there was a market called Artbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they were still
Wait, is this the art box, that festival thing?
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, and they were still held at Marina Bay.
Marina Bay, that area.
Yeah. So now they are like somewhere Ulu.
Mm-mm.
It's pretty sad, but and then yeah, so at that point of time I joined. That was my very first market. So that was the second year of Artbox. First year I heard the traffic was so good that it was very packed, crowded. So I was like, okay, let me try. So it's in May. So end of May. So I told myself, okay, if this market goes well, I'll just quit my job.
Ooh.
Yeah. So at that point of time, I was a bit lost.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like I studied so long for architecture. It's not really what I want. And then I ventured out to this like new job. It was so
Unfulfilling.
unfulfilling. Yeah. So boring. And that's when I was like, okay, maybe like let's just see how this market goes, and then if it goes well, then let's just just go for it lah.
Okay.
And I mean, of course, I'm not definitely with support, with support from my loved ones. Yeah. So
Whoa, Lovelystrokes. Oh my gosh, we need like some blue tag or something. Stay.
okay, yeah. I shall not move.
Okay. So like this art box thing, so while you're thinking about this art box thing which is coming up, like how far was this hobby of yours into already by then?
I started because it happened in May, right? That Artbox event. So I started like the year before, like in end of the year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, this material is nothing new. It's just a new trend to use it.
Okay.
So I think I played with it when I was young.
Yep.
And then after that, sort of like rediscovered it again, and use it as on a different way, different application. And then so in end of the year prior, so maybe half a year, the time span was like half a year. Yeah. So that's when I started just buying them, and then started playing around with it.
So more in bulk already at this point, or were you still experimenting with your designs?
I was still experimenting. Yeah, and then I know as in now I have a lot of colors. But when I first started, I just bought like the basic RGB.
Yeah. That's 3 colors RGB.
No, that's not basic. That's not primary colors. Primary colors is
Like rainbow colors lah.
no,
Not
3
even.
colors.
3 colors.
Blue, yellow, red. Right? Those are the primary colors. Yes.
Okay, I won't question. I thought RGB was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know RGB is green, but no. Primary colors,
Okay.
I think. Yeah, okay. Correct me.
Yeah.
So then I just bought that 3 colors and I blended my own. Yeah. So I started like small,
Okay.
and then I made my own colors.
Okay, cool.
From there.
So, okay, back to the art box thing.
yes,
So,
yeah.
how did it? I mean, you went through with it, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So how did that first sale go? That was your first public sale.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Was it crowded? It should,
I think it was
from all the pictures I've seen of Artbox, it looks crazy.
actually crowded, like very packed areas is usually the like food.
Or the dense.
stalls.
Okay.
Then the other parts, they were just okay. I
Okay.
think the year where I went,
Mm-hmm.
they actually doubled the size,
Okay.
so it was more spreaded out.
Mm.
Yeah, and then it wasn't as crowded as the first year.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So how did that first sale go?
it went well. Like, actually, going into it, I didn't expect anything. Yeah. So I mean, I just remember telling myself like, okay, if this goes well, let's do it. But of course, it's my first time, so I didn't know like what to expect. So, but I think I could see like a demand for it,
Mm.
and then my own standards, it went well lah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe I should just do it, you know. It went well lah, so I decided to I mean, I had my doubts.
Yes.
I was actually considering taking on like a part-time job
Mm-hmm.
while I do this
Yeah.
on the side.
That's
'cause I
another
was-
strategy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was scared.
Mm.
But after talking to my boyfriend,
Yep.
he convinced me lah, basically
To take the plunge.
just go for
Because
it.
he will support you if anything goes wrong.
I would like to think so.
Okay. But yeah, like doing a very public first go at this. I
Yeah.
think but it might be daunting firstly because you get, if it's rejected right to your face.
Yeah.
But at the same time you get like this live feedback that you might not get through online because online people don't like it, they'll just close the window.
Yeah.
But this one you can see like the readings from their face.
Yes,
So
yes.
I think that was a very good I think that would have been very good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so moving on. Okay, so the art box was the sort of not the milestone. What do you call it? The turning point.
Yeah, the
The
turning
turning point of your
Kickstarter.
career change.
Yeah.
All right. So cool. So yeah, did you make a lot at that point, or is it not money but products? Like, how did you estimate it? Was it just like? It's too
I
far
don't
to
really
remember.
remember. Yeah.
That's why.
How many? So at that point of time, I was just like making as many as I
Yeah.
could, and then just
This was all by yourself.
yes,
Okay.
I started in my living room basically. At that point of time, I didn't know, like, you have to wear like mask
Oh shit.
when you send.
Oh.
I was doing it at home, so my entire living room was like quite dusty.
Okay.
And then thank God my mom didn't kick me out of the house.
Just went around with a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, so she just like I mean, it came to a point where I'm like, okay, I think I need to move this outside. Yeah. So but it started off like in my living room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was the one every day after I come home, after I have my dinner, I'll make
Okay.
yeah
Cool.
until like 2 a.m. And at that time I wasn't tired. I was just like super energetic.
very
about
passionate
Yeah,
about
like,
it.
so
Oh,
passionate about
I
it.
miss that drive.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have that drive when I edit videos. I can like edit into the night, but
Yeah.
then I'll get very like tired at work. But shh. Okay.
Same.
No. The reason I asked like how many you made was just I think I'm just trying to picture myself there at the start. Yeah. So yeah. Because I when I found out, I think I found out a few months later from friends that you were doing this. Like they were like, "Hey, Chloe quit Aki eh." Then I'm like, "Whoa, what's she doing now?" Then like she's making that jewellery. They're like, "Oh, I have to check it out, man." Then I was like, the first thing that came to my mind was, "Wow, firstly that's damn brave." Like what you said, it's a scary thing to study for that long to get your degree and all that, and then suddenly say, "No, I want to do something else."
Yeah.
But I think a degree shouldn't hold you back. It should be a way to open more opportunities.
Yes.
And do whatever you want as long as it puts bread on the table and you're happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think that we should always confine ourselves to like just what we study. I mean, what you studied last time might not always be what you want to do. I mean, things change, right? People change and your interests change as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I do get comments like, oh, you know, you study so many years for architecture, such a waste. And at first, initially, I was honestly quite offended. Like, I mean, they probably mean no harm.
Yeah,
But I was when it first started, like when people started like saying this kind of thing, I was quite offended, upset lah.
Yeah.
But then later on, I went to think about it. It's like, I mean, it's true that I studied so many years, and architecture is not.
It's very
short.
blatantly saying it's a waste lah. Very
I mean, they don't
it.
even. They just say it's such a waste.
Yeah,
basically, yeah. So even sometimes Grab drivers, they ask you what you do, and then I just tell them.
Yeah.
And then there's the reaction I
the
get.
uncle.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, it's okay. But then they come from a place of like
concern,
yeah, because
like,
it's handmade lah. I understand also like to them it's like, how many people will want this kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I mean, after a while, I was okay with those kind of comments, and I mean, for me, I know that as long as I'm doing something that I enjoy, I feel fulfilled, like, in my life and things like that, and I'm fine with it lah.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a waste also, because like the things that we learn in architecture is actually like
Can be applied everywhere.
Like, editing photos.
Yeah.
I use Photoshop, Illustrator. So sometimes if I want to make like signboards or whatever,
Yeah. And I see the colors that come out from your designs also are very like intelligently thought of. Like it's not like driven from random places, we have this architecture teaches you a bit of this, I don't know, color science or something, things that match and things that don't go well. Yeah. But okay, like what you said, it is definitely like a new business model, like like people who are doing YouTube or those influencers who are like marketing on Instagram and stuff like that. I think the older generations are obviously coming like from a place of concern, like, you sure this will work out? Because I think they are used to that job security line where, either be an accountant, doctor, or something that has been tried and proven. Yeah. Whereas, all these things, we don't know where it's gonna go, but somebody has to start it, and why not you? So yeah, good on you.
There are so many new jobs created,
of course,
anyway, through technology. So
yeah. So after the art box thing, how did you start like marketing yourself? Was it purely through Instagram?
So when I started, when I was doing Artbox, I didn't have and I started, Lovelystrokes name came from my old hobby, which was calligraphy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it started from my old. So I had a Instagram account that I was doing like calligraphy, modern calligraphy as we call it. So that explains the name Lovelystrokes.
Okay.
So it was more of like pen.
Yeah.
So but after that I didn't want to have so many accounts, because it was just a hobby account and like nobody really follows it. Yeah. So it was just for my own. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Slowly.
Cut that.
Cut.
So I was having I had an account, like Instagram account, where I was doing calligraphy, modern calligraphy, and it was just for my own documentation at the point of time. So I didn't have a lot of following, so I was like, okay, I'm just too lazy to like think of another name, because thinking of a name is a lot of work to do. Yeah. So I decided to just use the same thing, Lovelystrokes, and it kind of applies also. So like the strokes is more of like you kneading like the clay, things like that. So there's still like a link to it. So I just decided to use that account.
Okay.
And started posting more of like my clay jewellery stuff. And then so when I went to Artbox, I didn't have a website.
Okay.
So I was just purely selling through Instagram.
Okay.
And at the point of time, I still had like orders here and there, and then through Instagram they would just like tell me what they want, pay now me, and then I'll mail it to them.
Okay.
So after that, in I think August, I launched my website. So I started using Shopify.
Yeah.
And plug.
Brand plug.
And I bought a domain.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
As everyone has to at some point.
Yeah. So and then Shopify started using that to sell. So that's when I officially launched my platform.
Okay. Cool.
And then but when I first started, mostly I used Instagram ads. Yeah.
Okay.
So I use that to market myself, sponsored posts, things like that.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I would say 90% was through Instagram.
Okay.
Ads. Yeah.
So that was at the starting of this business lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think nowadays the social media is a lot easier for us to. Anyone can make ads nowadays, so it's very open. Yeah. And then how did then progressing on, I would say I was very surprised at your success, honestly. Don't need paiseh. I was honestly very surprised. When like friends of mine who like I see they are into this style that you are doing, and then they're like, oh, you know her? Then I'm like, yeah. Then they start telling me stories about how it's very hard to get their hands on certain favorite of obviously the popular items. So it's like, oh, Chloe's doing quite well. So like I understand that your jewelry, firstly, it's all designed by yourself and in a way like, you know, seasonal, or you get inspirations from different things, and it's never repeated. Are there repeated items that stays on throughout the year, or is it always seasonal?
Seasonal.
It just keeps changing and changing.
Just keeps changing.
Yeah. Okay. Don't forget the idea I told you about the
What?
frame thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. So backstory. I told her to keep like every one piece of every of her collection, and then like, was it to frame it up or something, or to put it on a wire mesh or something like that, and to make it into like an art installation, right? That'd be cool. That'd be like 2020 collection.
Wow.
And she can like sell it off for millions or
1
something.
million. I wish.
Hey, rare item. Yeah. So more on the design of it.
Yeah.
We've spoken about how you started a business. I think this can be a whole nother conversation of how to start a business. But I think for everyone it's a bit different. But I think with social media it's a lot easier these days. But what I want to talk about is also like the design process. Let's say I understand, like, you kind of explained to me a bit about how these polymer clay jewelleries are made. Basically, let me see if I can recall this.
Yeah.
Damn it. the clay is already. Is it already? It comes in the soft.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Comes in blocks.
Okay. Then you have color dyes that you pick and match. Wait, I lost the D. Then do you color? Okay, damn it.
No, so it comes.
You explained the whole thing.
So it comes in colors. They already have colors, like off the shelves.
Okay.
We already have colors. Just that sometimes the colors of the shelves might not be something that I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I will blend my own color.
Okay.
So I will have my own like recipe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mean like, let's say there was an orange, and then it's not the real, it's not really the orange that you want.
Yeah.
So what, you dye it?
No, I will add, say, if you want a light orange, you take the orange block.
Oh,
off
it's
the shelf.
blocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you take white, and then you blend it.
You like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Isn't that a lot of work?
Yeah. So you have to mix the colors. That's why sometimes even researching for colors can take like the entire day.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I enjoy the process of blending my own colors.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's very satisfying, the whole
Yeah.
process. Yeah.
And it's very customized
Yeah.
that way. Yeah. Okay. So then after that, what you told me was, if there's a pattern, you would cut out those patterns and start inserting them onto the base.
Yeah.
Like if the base was a green base, I think I'm thinking of one of your designs right now, but
Yeah.
a green base, and then let's say there's an orange circles like oranges or something for Chinese New Year, and then you start inserting them into this big block, and then you use the cutters. We'll talk about the cutters later.
Okay.
You use the cutters to cut out the different shapes, and then you bake them.
Yeah. So
When do the holes go in for the hooks? Before or after the baking?
after.
Really?
So I drill it. Yeah. After.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, isn't that very scary if it cracks?
Um,
It doesn't crack.
it depends on how well you bake them.
Okay.
So it's tricky because there are a lot of different factors that goes into making your baked clays
Mm-hmm.
durable. If baked well, it's very durable and it's somewhat elastic also. Not
Okay.
elastic, flexible.
Yeah. Okay.
Can bend it.
Forgiving. Yeah.
Yeah. So usually when you buy the material, they will tell you like, you know, the temperature, like how long you should bake it for, and you also have to like sort of like calibrate your oven.
Mhm.
You have to make sure it's accurate because sometimes oven will fluctuate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that's something that you have to
It's
consider.
very scientific.
Yeah,
already.
yeah. Yeah, just a tip out there.
It's not as simple as it seems.
Yeah. So I mean, throughout this entire journey, I've actually burned an entire batch once.
Okay.
And once is enough for me to learn my lesson.
Ouch.
Yeah. So that was just a different like wrong temperature.
Mm.
It was too high.
Yeah.
So and then like the smell
Wow.
like, it was bad. Yeah.
Okay. So these are
So-
dedicated ovens, right? Not your cooking oven.
No. I don't bake.
They come over for Chinese dinner, then we're like, why you got funny taste?
No, actually, I've Googled before. They say it's safe to use the same oven.
Okay.
Just don't bake them at the same time. You know, if it's not obvious enough.
I just pictured a roast chicken with earrings.
Yeah. Oh, smells like roast chicken.
Wow, scented earrings.
Yeah. New product.
Yeah. So cool. So I actually I didn't know that was that whole mixing. When you told me blend, I immediately thought like food
Colour.
dye blend.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of your designs, like recently you also worked with some Love Bonito.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was surprised when I saw your Instagram stories that some of the earrings matched their clothing line.
Yeah.
Right. Was that was the collaboration, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So matching earrings, you know, to go with your outfit.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So it
Oh,
was the
wow.
designs were like inspired
Okay,
by
okay.
their prints. Yeah.
Did they have like a special sale? You
So-
buy this earring, you get this dress cheaper.
No, I don't have.
Hey, but that is actually something very cool. I would, yeah, because you know, like earrings, I don't know if they usually match with dresses, but this would have been something very cool.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
quite common. As in, this is not the first collaboration that I've done. I've actually done like a few with another 2 brands.
Okay.
Clothing brands, yeah.
Yeah.
2, yeah. So, same thing.
Mm.
So, usually they will be the one showing me their prints, and then I will give my take
Yeah.
to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But as in a general sense, is this a common thing in fashion? Have you seen it other than you doing it?
I think it's
It might be out there. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's quite common.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not as straightforward. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, maybe it's more abstract form.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's quite it's something out there.
It's something out there
nothing new
already.
lah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so back to the process of making these in case there are some people who want to make their own. You actually have custom made cutters for these earrings, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you have to, if not it's going to be cookie cutters, right?
Yeah.
Did you start with cookie cutters?
Yes, I did. So,
That was a wild guess.
oh really?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
actually, yeah, mainly, I think most of the clay makers out there, I think they do use cookie cutters, like steel ones, and then subsequently, I think you can also make your own, like super. I tried making my own with like metal.
Oh, I think, yeah, they sell the strip, then you can just bend it,
bend
right?
it yourself, but it's also very tedious.
Mm.
Yeah. So tried that. After a while, I started making my own.
Okay.
Yeah, with a friend.
Yeah.
So, yeah, basically we have this line where we sell our own cutters now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
For
cool.
clay makers.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
nice. So like these are 3D printed cutters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. So running this business, obviously, it's something very personal to you because it's coming out of passion, and obviously your friends and families have been supportive so far. Like, how do you keep because you're running it as a self-owned business? How do you keep like this business constantly running and knowing that you don't slack off, or it doesn't decline in the market, or in how popular it is, or the design, in fact? Like, how do you keep it consistent running this business?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think as in a lot of other clay makers or even entrepreneurs out there, definitely for the first few years will be crazy, just hectic lah. Basically, you just go for it. But because it's a solopreneurship, basically you're doing it alone, everything. So there are a lot of things that you need to do and consider, to think about, and it's at times it feels like your mind is like constantly working 24 hours. Even when you're showering, you're thinking about this and that. So I think like 1 year, like when I hit the 1 year mark, I was a bit okay, like, because I kept going and didn't really take any breaks. I was even working through weekends.
Yeah.
So it was a bit
Non-stop.
yeah, it was a bit crazy at the point of time. But then it came to a point where I told myself, like, I need to take a break so that I can go further, continue this journey, because if not, you'll burn out.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yes, exactly. So you have to, it's okay to take breaks in between, or like just take it slow. You can still be doing, but like maybe
the intensity managing the intensity,
like lesser output or things like that. Because a lot of times I am my own bottleneck in this business. So to keep it consistent in terms of like your business output, I think you have to pace yourself. Pace yourself and plan ahead so that you have time to make sure that you have enough time to do everything. Like quality wise, like you can do them well, and not just like a quick faster do. Because you have no time. If you don't plan for it, then you have no time to do it well.
So like if you have a big project coming out, or a big collaboration, or even a special design, you want to have that forethought of like pre-planning it, so that okay, I will have enough time to get this done right and get this done well.
So you need to know what you need to do beforehand. Like maybe you need to do like this thing 1 month before that. If not, like instead of like just 1 week before that, when you have no time, then you will just end up doing something that is something you're not proud of. So that I think in terms of like consistency, that's something that I realized that I need to do.
So like moving forward, what's okay? We won't talk too big of a picture, but what's in store, or what would you want to move this business on to, or what's your next goal? Let's say.
I think for this year,
2020.
Yes, 2020. So business wise, I would say I want to create like a better aesthetics for my products.
Okay.
So because if you actually go and see my Instagram profile, it's mostly it's very personal. I just take on the spot, edit, I post. So I mean, not saying that it's not nice or whatever, but it's just something that I wish to bring to the next level in terms of product aesthetics, like taking photos, like having like a fixed set, looks more professional and things like that. I think it comes to a point when you need to, that's something for me to grow lah.
So it's like a bit of the professionalism in that way. The next step up. I can see that.
And I enjoy looking at very nice feet. So that's something that I wish for myself. My own, I mean, for Lovelystrokes, this brand. And then for a personal goal, for the brand as well. I mean, it's something that is personal. So I do also want to like, you know, contribute back to the society in a way. And since I have this platform, although it's not anything big, but I have like, you know, I was given an opportunity to work with Singapore Heart Foundation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So so from February to June, we'll be doing like a campaign. So it's called Go Red for Women.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's to raise awareness to all these heart, how to say,
Hard topics.
heart issues,
Okay.
problems that we don't really
Talk about enough.
enough. And
Okay.
yeah, it's just something that is very personal to me.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something to
Maybe I
look
can
out
put a
for
link here
if it comes out.
in time. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. Hey, that's awesome. Like also, you recently like had a very short donation thing for the fires in Australia, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bushfires.
That went quite well, right? You raised quite a bit. I mean, more than an average person could donate.
Is it?
So I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I guess nobody
Yeah.
will donate like
yeah.
1.4.
Yeah.
It's hard, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I mean, honestly, any contribution it's great for them. But
Yes.
like you said, using a platform that sort of you're blessed with and you've earned and you've built up, it's it's a great way to give back. Because you know, with great power comes great responsibility.
yes. I think through this entire journey, I think it's important to stay humble and grounded, and that's one way to keep myself from, you know, flying too high into the sky, you know.
And burning in the sun.
Yeah. And yeah, so I think because we all studied in Australia.
Yeah.
So that is something that is somewhat close to our
Yes,
heart.
definitely.
So learning about the extent of the bushfires this year in summer is quite a shocker lah, because it's really,
I think it hit everyone pretty hard,
Yeah.
especially the wildlife.
yes.
Yeah.
So so that's why I chose to, I mean, although I'm not like an animal person.
What is that? Okay, continue.
No, so I go to zoo, right? They're just
What was that?
So I go to zoo like not to see animals. I go to zoo to see my friends. You know, last time.
What are your friends doing at the zoo?
No, it was like a ex-company
Oh,
event.
okay.
So
It's
yeah.
a gathering. Okay.
Yeah. So they were like, "Oh, what animal do you want to see?" And I'm like, "No, I came to see you guys."
Oh, okay. I get it. All right.
So yeah, I mean, like, not that I hate them or I'll, like, you know, kick them or whatever, but it's just like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the ones that were affected most by this bushfire, it's the animals lah,
Yeah,
basically. So I think
definitely.
a lot of them, they were burned, you know, died in it.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
yeah, it's
think-
definitely a very sad situation there.
yeah. So I think that's why I chose that organization to donate to. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're coming to about the time to end this podcast, but I just wanted to ask you, because through this experience, what advice could you give someone who is thinking of starting a small business, their own business, young entrepreneurs, or even someone who's thinking of changing their job to something that, you know, they might want to pursue, you know, even like what we have done, like, you know, go through the whole degree, invested a lot, but then, you know, somewhere along the line, it may not be something that we want to do for the rest of our life, and there's something more passionate that we want to do. Like, what's the advice for that, you know, how to transition into it, or maybe how to handle the pressure from everyone else?
I would say just don't listen to the noise, because at this time and age there are a lot of noise, like external noise, because you're constantly connected, so you're always scrolling.
Yeah.
So you just have to know what you want and what you don't want. And then if I would say, okay, because I'm a safer person, so I will say if you have a plan B, then it's okay for you to go for like whatever you want to do. So I mean, for me, because we have like a degree in architecture, so I know that even though, you know, if this Lovelystrokes don't work out, I still have like architecture to fall back on. And that's something that kind of like,
It's an insurance.
it's
assurance,
like a
not
assurance.
insurance. Assurance.
So it's a assurance, and also allow me to take that first step. And I mean, when you go back, you know, after so many years, if you go back to architecture, you might not get paid as the same as your peers, but that's just how it is going to be. And it's okay. I think just not be afraid of failures. I think it's important. I mean, you're only young once. YOLO.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no,
you were gonna say
yo-yo.
something.
Actually. That's yo-yo. So might not might as well just do it now. Then when you're like married, so that's one thing that I told myself, like, since I'm young, I'm not married, I don't have children, I can afford to be broke in a way. Even if this doesn't work out.
This is like the prime time where you can take risk and try something.
And then, you know, because once you sort of tied down, have children, you have like different priorities, and you might not think about
and you kind of need to be a bit more stable by then. Okay. I mean, that's
enough.
That's more than enough. So you can find Lovelystrokes on Instagram at Lovelystrokes. Yes. And website Lovelystrokes.
Lovelystrokes.com.
Strokes with an S. Strokes with an S. All right. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Awesome.
Which camera? I don't know which one. Just
wave at anyone.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode of Talk Some More. If you've enjoyed this episode, do give it a thumbs up or a like depending on which platform you're on. If you want more content like this, do also consider subscribing and leaving some comments as to what you'd like to hear next. For now, thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next episode.